Hello, welcome to our March Under the Awning WebEx series. We have quite a few people on the call today, so we're excited about this one. And I'll introduce myself. I'm here every month on these. My name is Heather. I'm Chief Marketing Officer here at Red Awning. And we wanted to introduce Jade. Jade is marketing in our marketing team. She's behind the scenes every month, and we had to talk her into getting on the camera, but Jade's really the woman that makes this happen every month. So
I'm the content marketing manager. When you email in response to your webinar email, you're contacting me. So if you have any questions, just reply to your invitations to the webinar.
Perfect. Thanks. And we have Scott from our digital marketing team, Blizzard Internet Marketing, based in Colorado. And then we have Pamela, our director for North American Ski Region Market Management Team. She'll be running most of the call today. And then we have another special guest, Paige from Vail Resorts. Thanks for joining us, Paige. Just a few housekeeping things too before we jump into the deck. We do have everyone muted just to reduce on the noise and distraction. So we encourage you to use the chat as much as possible just throughout the whole WebEx. And we like it to be interactive, so we'll take the questions as they come and have some conversation via chat as much as possible. It seems to work really well. So with that, I'll turn it over to the team on the line here that's going to run the call.
Okay. Awesome, thank you. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Perfect. Well, I'll just do a quick introduction of who I am, and then I'll roll through my slides as quickly as I can so we can make sure to get to everyone here on the call and leave time for you all to answer questions. Just a quick introduction. Again, my name's Pamela. I'm the Market Director for North American Ski and Mountain. All of you on the line have similar market directors in your regions as well. I spent a lot of time on your side of the business working for a company that owned multiple vacation rental companies in ski and mountain, also in California. So ultimately, I've been on your side of the business as well as on this side of the business. So hopefully this webinar will give you a little bit of insight as to what we can do to help you, as well as some additional things that you can do to help get through those shoulder season slump times and be creative. And I think ultimately what you'll do is take away the sort of ultimate message of thinking outside the box, planning ahead, using the tools that you have available to you via Red Awning, and certainly following industry trends is really what's going to help you get through these slump times. So we'll get through those slides. You're going to hear from some other industry experts, Scott from Blizzard, and of course Paige from Vail Resorts. Super excited to have her as a part of the call as well. And then we'll open up the floor to question and answers. So with that, I think we're ready to roll. So first and most importantly for anyone certainly is to define what your shoulder season is. Certainly that's different for everyone, whether you're in beach, mountain, if you're an urban property manager. Essentially, when does that season occur? Do you have mini shoulder seasons that occur every year? Don't just look for the obvious, but look for those micro seasons that occur year over year that you can really go in and dig into your data and find times where you can help fill in gaps for your owners and be creative about where those seasons are occurring for you and finding places that your availability is open and you can start to add heads and beds, if you will. Obviously, we all need to know who's coming to our destination during the off-peak times. You know, are they bargain hunters? Do you have a lot of groups? Are they families? What's the demographic? How long are they staying? You know, really dig in and figure out who's showing up during those, whether they're traditional shoulder seasons, that's a tongue twister, shoulder seasons, or those micro shoulder seasons. It really is important because that's obviously going to determine your marketing and how you approach these guests and get them to book with you. All right, we've got a poll for you guys. We're really interested to hear from you and figure out what makes you guys tick. And so you're going to see a poll question pop up. If you guys can answer that for us, we'd love to see what you're doing with your digital marketing. And I think, Heather, you probably can see the results.
Yes.
I can't see them. Yeah.
So it looks like folks are responding, so maybe we'll give it another minute here. All right, I think we've landed at a pretty good mix. 79% of you do adapt your digital marketing strategy by season, and about 20% do not. That may be more of an evergreen digital marketing strategy. And really having both are great, but that's the mix on the call.
Perfect. Okay, so this is super important as well, and certainly something that I worked really hard at when I was on your side of the business is to really match the demand with pricing. Really trying to appeal to the guests that you're trying to fold into those micro seasons and getting potential guests to choose you. So giving them a reason to click through on your listing, giving them a reason to book you, being able to be flexible with your pricing during those time periods, and matching whatever the demand is. So obviously, if you have a higher demand, your pricing is going to reflect that. And if it's shoulder season, you want to make sure you're yielding in a way that's going to entice guests to come and visit you. It really is so important that you're staying on top of those micro seasons and those shoulder seasons to ensure that your pricing is reflecting what your actual demand is. And you can plan ahead for that year over year. You guys know your business better than anyone. And so having the opportunity to look back at your data and see where those gaps have been in the past, and then being able to look forward and adjust your pricing, accordingly. And along those same lines, yield your pricing, guide those travelers to choose you. When travelers are looking for deals, they're often looking at multiple destinations. They're looking to see, what mountain destination has the best pricing, what beach destination in Florida has the best pricing. You need to give them a reason to choose your destination and to book you. So that ultimately is what's going to drive business to you and create demand for your destination during those time periods based on past guest performance and based on your market trends. So watching your market to see when occupancy is raising up and when occupancy is dropping off. Definitely show love to the weekdays. That's a time that you often need to fill. The weekends can be so much easier to fill, as we all know. So if you can offer travelers and budget seekers great rates and latitude, and be creative for those weekdays and really be more aggressive with your yielding during the week, you're going to create demand for the days that you need to fill. So sometimes even when demand doesn't exist, your job is to figure out how you can create demand. What can you do to get people to book during a period of time that they are not generally booking? Of course, weekdays during shoulder seasons are a prime example of that. So get creative and get those folks who are looking at you already to book during those weekday periods.
So Pamela, we actually have a question.
Okay.
Someone who's talking about kind of being a newer, launching their business. What resources would we suggest to determine these shoulder and off-peak seasons? One thing I would say is having a view of your day-by-day forecast is key. So being able to quickly look at that day-by-day view, to Pamela's point about a micro season, that could be, you think, oh, July is busy for me, maybe, or a certain month is really busy for me. But you could potentially have a little micro shoulder season of 3 or 4 days that you want to focus on, but you have to have that day-by-day view to be able to see that and understand, the overlay of events in the market. But I don't know, Pamela, if you have other things to add there, what other resources you could use to determine shoulder and off-peak?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. What Heather is saying is right on. And I also think, a couple things to add to that. One, I'll address in a later slide, but essentially that's what we're here for too. Your market directors and partner success managers know your market exceptionally well, and we're here to help you. So we're here to help you strategize and determine when you need to run a promotion or work on your pricing. So rely a bit on us as well. The other thing that I used to do was I was always involved in my local tourism and chamber of commerce boards. They often have committees you can be on, or networking events that you can get to be a part of. And that's a really great way too to get to know other folks that are managing properties in your area, chat with them, share best practices. And I think the chamber will also provide you with a lot of data that determines, sort of what's happening in your market at different times of the year. So really look outside of, sort of what's happening within your business, and also, look to the resources you have within your community and within your market too. So moving on, certainly we all want to be a resource to our guests. If you become a local expert and a local guide, once the guest books with you, you're their personal destination planner. Whether it's you as an owner or a general manager, or you have an in-house concierge or a front desk manager, whomever it is that you can put the guest in touch with, that allows the guest to really hone in on a very personal, curated experience in your destination. That's key, especially during the shoulder seasons. So for instance, if it's too cold for the beach, offer them a list of local museums or spas or historical walking tours. For us in ski, when there's no snow on the slopes and it's too muddy to bike, we can highlight area shopping and spas, driving tours, anything that folks can do to really curate their own vacation and their own memories while they're staying with you, that again entices them to come to you in the shoulder season, noting that it doesn't always have to be about the primary reason you visit a destination, but the destination has some great little nuggets available no matter what season you come. And when you're that local expert, whether it's on your website or via somebody who is able to reach out to the guests once they book, offering them ideas of why they should travel to you year-round is certainly an important thing to always be doing.
I did want to, Pamela?
Yeah.
We had just another comment to add, and I think it looks like it's a great comment to take the topic of like determining what's happening in your market, other resources for that. So Susan Graber, thanks for this note. Just the idea that, you can look at competitors and hotels pricing to understand what's happening in the market. And there are also more emerging resources in the space. There are some very established resources in the hotel space to get market intelligence, like third-party data aggregators. There's STR, OTA Insights, Travel Click reporting, but in the alternative accommodation space, that's more of a hotel product. There's LSI tools, Key Data, Transparent, AirDNA, so these are certainly other tools that you can use to get that competitor hotel market intelligence. Thanks, Susan.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point for sure. Oftentimes during the shoulder seasons, really it is about promotions, as you guys all know. And so ultimately, we can at Red Awning create off-season promotions for you that create demand and entice your guests to book during those off-peak times. Really, again, it goes back to using your market directors and your PSMs as a part of your strategy team. We're really, truly here to ensure your success. And we really are destination experts. And so when shoulder seasons are upon us, or, we can see them on the horizon, we are happy to strategize and assist with coming up with a promotion plan for you if you'd like us to do that. We work very closely with the channels on a weekly basis. We're talking to the market managers, we're talking to the channels, we're taking advantage of promotions that they have, but we can also create specific and special promotions for you as well. So please know that that resource exists for you. And again, we're here to help drive bookings in during all times, but of course to really help during those shoulder season times. So make it easy on yourself. Let us do some of the heavy lifting when it comes to the promotions, and it's something that we can do on a quarterly basis. Really look at the year ahead, base promotions on activities and events in your market. Really look at what's happening in your destination to make sure that we're staying on top of what we need to do from a promotion standpoint. I think this is something Paige may hit on as well, and I think it really shows the importance of good content. The off season, whenever your off season is the perfect time to update your content, get photos taken, have your Red Awning market team take a look at your content, take a look at your listings, make sure they're geared up for top performance. If you need new photos on occasion, that's something we can help you with. So again, work with your team here, and we'll do the best we can to either guide you to a professional photographer or help you with that. But really, it's a time to audit your listings and ensure your content is truly optimized for the best possible booking potential on all of the OTAs that we're pushing you to. This is a big one too. Make sure you're really diversified on the channels. Guests are so much now looking at so many different sites before they book. They're not just going to one or two sites. They're looking at some of these smaller, more specific sites that are sometimes affiliates of the larger networks like Expedia and Booking.com, and sometimes they're not. They're one-off smaller channels that are available to guests to take a look at. Guests are going to meta sites. Guests will be going to Google sooner than later when their vacation rental platform is up and running. So there's really a lot of opportunity to diversify and place your listings in multiple places, not just one or two channels. That's something we can help you with. We can recommend channels that perhaps you aren't taking advantage of currently, that we can help you take advantage of and make sure your inventory is listed there. There may be channels that you have questions about, and we can certainly answer questions. One of the highlights, and I think Heather would agree, that we have at Red Awning right now is the Travel Pro Rentals channel. That's something you're automatically on already, but I think it's worth noting that this is a growing channel for us, and it's giving your listings access, and they're being highlighted to, I think we're up to about 12,000 travel agents now.
Yeah, over 13,000 travel agents, yeah, and growing every day. So for those of you that know or don't know, travel agents are also seeing an increase in demand for alternative accommodations, and their traditional ways of booking, air and hotel, car rental, don't make it easy for them to get access to vacation rentals, the global distribution system, the GDS. So we provide, this is a Red Awning proprietary channel, and it provides that platform for travel agents to assist their travelers with, and there's some education there too, which is great. We play a big role on the customer service side, but reaching that community is a whole other channel of demand that you really can't get with any other partner.
Absolutely. I think that's a channel that oftentimes when our customers realize that we're pushing them to, they get super excited because it is an audience that you don't get with a traditional channel manager partner. It's something that's really unique to Red Awning, and something that we're able to do for you. And we have a team of folks that are constantly looking and vetting channels to add them if they're a good fit and if there's something that we think will add to your to creating more robust bookings for you. So know that our channel list is continuously growing. The other thing I would add to this slide that isn't noted here, but one thing that is definitely worth doing at any time of year, but specifically when you have a little time to do an audit on how you're working with Red Awning, is to also check your cancel policies. We definitely note in ski, for instance, that free cancel 40 performs awesome, better than free cancel 60, and actually better than free cancel 30, interestingly enough. And so really take a look at your cancellation policies, because that's also going to help drive bookings during the shoulder seasons when people feel like they have a tiny bit of flexibility if they decide not to travel to the destination, but certainly respecting the fact that you want to have a cancel policy that works for you and your owners. But that's something that you should for sure be doing in your shoulder season, is not only looking at your portfolio of channels, but looking at the policies that you're placing with us via Red Awning to your guests.
We do have another question, Pamela.
Okay.
I'm so excited someone asked this question. Well done, Val. Thank you. The question is, what is the status of the Google Vacation Rental platform? And that is a great question. There are some things I can say and things I can't say, but I will tell you we're very close to what Google is doing, and very soon I think there'll be more official communication. I know Skift has had articles almost daily on this topic, and it's a hot one. But ultimately, you know, I guess just a little bit of an answer for those that know or don't know. Google has been in the lodging space for a while, acting more as a meta. But if you've been paying attention to what they've been doing which is like a Trivago, right, where they're consolidating and sending traffic to different partners or direct to brands, you know, direct to channels. And they've been doing some different things in Europe where they've been taking more kind of the in-context booking and shopping experience to life within Google before sending the traveler to the buying. You know, more of the shopping and dreaming phase is you know, happening on Google, as you've seen some of this outside the US. So Google's doing a lot in the space, and I think I can tell you there are more specifics coming really soon. So working with Red Awning is a good thing. You are in the know.
We're all super excited about what's happening with Google, so stay tuned for sure. And as I've alluded to prior, and I think really one of the main themes of this is that you're using us for a reason, and that's for us to help you and to be a part of your team. As I'm sure all of you know by now, we've realigned how we're doing business with our customers, and we've added this layer of service to you with a market management team that is in your market. They know your market. They've been working in your market. They're experts in the area. I've been in ski for, well, since 1998, living in ski and working in ski, and certainly within hospitality for well over a decade.
And she's only 21.
That's so. Right, as you can tell.
Yeah.
Oh, ultimately, you know, we're all here for you. You'll find that we're an eager resource that is always willing to help and step in. If you don't know who your market director is yet, because it is a new thing here at Red Awning, certainly at the end you'll see my email address. You feel free to reach out to me, and I can put you in touch with your market director and your partner success manager. But we do now have a very robust team of folks that are standing at the ready to help you and engage with you and strategize with you. So all of the things that I mentioned and Heather mentioned, you know, we are available to walk you through all of those things and be a resource and a part of your team. So we're definitely here and ready to help you be successful via Red Awning. And I think now we've got Paige coming up from Vail Resorts. Paige is amazing. She obviously knows her stuff by being, you know, a guru from Vail Resorts. They are our largest mountain and ski customer, and we certainly are excited that Paige is willing to join and share some details with you guys today. So Paige, take it away.
Thanks, Pamela. So yes, I am the vacation rental distribution manager for Vail Resorts. Work with Red Awning, just managing our listings throughout the U.S. for our resorts. So at Vail Resorts, we sell hotel rooms and condos, as well as the entire experience of being on a ski vacation. In the winter, we include photos on our listings, not only of the rooms, but the lifestyle shots. So views from the ski lift, families and ski lessons, the après scene, really the whole experience that we can offer the guests. As we transition out of winter into the shoulder season and summer, we include content that sells the guests on the rest of the year activities, such as riding bikes, hiking, scenic gondola rides, all of that. This allows the guests to visualize what they can do in our resort year-round. Additionally, we will market special events on our listings provided by the town or any springtime events that are really happening, something that can generate interest in the destination as a whole. If we want to push a particular listing, we might edit the titles to entice the guest a little bit more during these off-peak times. The focus for us in marketing the off-season is really just to allow the guests to visualize and understand that there's things to do all time of the year at our mountain resorts. As far as revenue management tactics will go, we adjust the rates based on demand and sometimes the minimum length of stay to entice people to book a little bit more. Overall, we really focus on selling the destination during the slower seasons, and we'll adjust our revenue management tactics with that to be less strict. So I believe next is Heather with a poll.
Here we go. So you can see, do you run last minute promotions on OTAs to fill occupancy gaps is the question. Answers are coming in. I have to say, I'm a little surprised by this one so far.
Oh, now I can't wait to hear.
Yeah, the numbers are still moving. Give it one more sec. Did everyone get a chance to select yes or no? Okay. I think I'll call this the final. So only 35% of folks on the phone are running last minute promotions on OTAs. So the interesting thing about this question is what's even possible and what's the definition of a last minute promotion. So running a promotion does not mean just lowering price. Right, lowering rate alone is not a form of promotion. So when we say, are you running a promotion, it means, are you doing additional marketing or merchandising and, you know, activating on some of those like promotional levers on maybe for direct book, of course, but also on OTAs. The interesting thing is of kind of the 4 big OTAs, Booking, Expedia, Airbnb, and HomeAway, only Expedia and Booking really have sophisticated levers you can pull to boost your listings, get tagging, you know, just really get the additional exposure. Airbnb and HomeAway, it's much less sophisticated, at least at this time. So here at Red Awning, if we work with you on both Expedia and Booking, we have ways to do bulk uploads for your whole portfolio and, you know, structure customized ones or take advantage of specific promotional programs on Expedia and Booking specifically. So that sounds like for the group on this call, we may be underutilizing some capabilities, especially for those of you on the line if you work with us on Expedia and Booking. Sorry to jump in there with that, but let's see.
That's great. That's great.
Okay. Oh, we do have another question. Logan, we've got your question here. That you talk with OTAs that say you can't do it directly and only do it through a channel manager. So there's a lot to answer this question. Depending on, for Red Awning, we work with you, we have your market director can work with you on what type of promotion you want to run. And then we set it up and it is automated delivery for setup. So you don't have to go on your own into the channel and load one unit by unit. You know, if you don't want to do your whole portfolio, we go through with what, you know, units do you want to run this promotion on, et cetera. I don't know the capabilities of just a regular channel manager because we are a full service marketing engine. We have the connectivity, just like a channel manager, the basic, you know, bridge to send an offer, although some channel managers may not be able to automatically trigger the promotion, which is a big difference between just resending a lower rate. Resending a promotion, you get into having like different rate plans and policies, and so there is a more complex way to really run the promotion and get all the merchandising with it. And then again, if you're referring to Expedia and Booking, the conversation is different than if you're referring to HomeAway and Airbnb. I hope that was helpful. But chime in again, Logan, if there's a follow-up.
So Scott, it's you.
10-4. Hi, everybody. This is Scott Campbell. I'm the Business Development Manager here at Blizzard Internet Marketing. And as you can see, we are all things about direct marketing to your website, to your reservations office, all about direct bookings. A little bit about me. I don't want to date myself too much, but it might become obvious to my fellow senior members out there. But you can always do what I used to do when pulling analytics and go do car counts at your competitor parking lots and then mark down which state they're from. I'm joking, of course. We're much more modern in this day and age, but that's how far back I go in the property management world. I was up at Steamboat Resorts for 20 years. I was our director of sales and marketing. And yeah, it's all about driving direct business and also through your OTA channels, especially during off season. You need every flume open, your funnels as wide as possible to drive those sales. And so with my past experiences, I just wanted to share a few examples because off-season, shoulder seasons is all about thinking out of the box, as we may or may not know. As Heather was touching on before off of some of those questions, it's not necessarily your promotional rates via the OTAs and your own direct website. It's not necessarily all about discounting your rates. It can be including value adds, amenity packages. You know, in my case up in Steamboat, it was hot spring tickets. Including hot spring tickets, we would just absorb the cost because we chose not to drop our rates. So any other activity providers you can partner up with that are open during your shoulder seasons and off seasons, that would be great. Some fly fishing companies that opened up through the years in Steamboat became very lucrative for us, especially at our higher end properties. So try and partner up with those activity vendors. And along those same lines, you know, if you're not already a chamber member or partnered up with your chamber, use them. I used to go down there to the front desk where they would have walk-in traffic come in. And every Friday, I would run a 7-day forecast for all of our different properties. See who needed the most help, do up a flyer. It's old school, I know, but it worked. And run a stack of flyers down to the chamber with a box of donuts and talk to the ladies and develop those relationships. If you're interested in some of that drive-through walk-in traffic, that can add up pretty quickly, and you'll be surprised that some of those people who are driving into your community looking for places to stay, and they end up staying for a long time. We used to get some monthlies out of that, believe me. So, and also too, any nearby meeting hotels that your properties might be located, develop a relationship with them. Talk about opportunities for overflow for any meetings they might have going on. That can be another great resource to augment your off-season revenue and income coming in. Wedding planners, that's more for fall as opposed to spring, at least here in the mountains. But wedding planners is another great source, whereas you might not necessarily have a wedding venue. Maybe you do if you haven't already partnered up with wedding planners, for example. Do so. That's a great opportunity to get referral business, whether the actual wedding venue is on the mountain, on the beach. All those guests coming in need a place to stay. So again, it's all really about thinking out of the box with all of your channels, whether it be direct, whether it be through Red Awning with your OTA channels. Lots of opportunities. Think out of the box. And so as you can see from the slide, I mentioned we're all about driving direct revenue. We do SEO, content marketing, PPC, email marketing, social media. We also build websites and mobile-friendly, device-responsive reservation engines. And if we move on to the next slide, Jade. Thank you. And I just kind of wanted to run through a checklist. A lot of this is reinforcing to the high-level, strategies that Pamela had discussed along the way. And really, I want to say those are all great ideas. It has to be done. Nothing's quite as cringeworthy as seeing a bunch of out-of-season photos when somebody's obviously going to be looking for a different season. So while you're updating your content, which is your images, your promotions, your value adds through your listings, don't forget about your website because that, as I'm sure most of you know, is the core But make sure to update your website as well, because that billboard effect is powerful. You know, all the channels you're utilizing Red Awning for, a lot of people are still going out and searching after they see one of your ideal properties on a particular channel. They may do a Google search for that unit to see more about it. So make sure your content on your direct website's there, because we'd like your direct website to be found fairly easily. And so we certainly want your website to be device friendly, mobile responsive. So if you do have an older website, you can go to Google Analytics, and Google Analytics in the upper left-hand corner will be a recurring theme of this. Make sure to check out your Google Analytics and see how your website is performing. There's lots of data in there so you can see how it's performing with mobile. As many of you probably know, some of you may or may not know, Google has switched to mobile first indexing. They had been giving out warnings that it was coming for many years, and then this last summer that did happen. And basically what that means is Google is taking a look to see how your website performs on mobile devices. And then that's a big factor, that's the biggest factor of how you're going to rank organically. And, you know, I like to tell clients when I'm on the phone with them, SEO, search engine optimization, is really the cornerstone of your website. And many people think their website, and they are correct, is the cornerstone of their business. So in translation, SEO is the cornerstone of your business in a lot of ways. It's the direct version of those your listings out on the OTAs, the online travel agents, and making sure you've got those great high rankings, whether it be by promotion, value adds, discounts, updating your content, keeping it current. The same principles do apply. But definitely make sure your website is mobile friendly. That is key. And then make sure, as I mentioned, for your direct websites, that your content, your images, any photo galleries you have, maybe make a new photo gallery to support the season you're promoting, in this case, the off season and shoulder seasons. Having that content is key. If you don't have a calendar of events, that's a great place to put a lot of the off-season events. And then you've always got it for the higher times as well. And hopefully you can drive ADRs up with increased demand and occupancy. Things to do, activities, making yourself a local expert on all the things to do. And that again kind of ties into SEO and how you're being found, not just being optimized for mobile devices, but also knowing that being optimized for voice is coming. More and more people are using their mobile phones, and they're also saying things like what to do in Steamboat, what to do in Steamboat this April, or what to do in X destination during your shoulder time. Making sure you're optimized for those type of questions with your content is very key. And when people are starting to, you know, kind of what Paige was talking about, selling the destination, you've got the power to do that as well on your own website. So, you know, make sure the content is there. That supporting content then can become very relevant for your future marketing. PPC and paid ads and retargeting, absolutely. Somebody who might be putting a search in for places to stay and eat in X destination. We would want you to have all that content to answer that question to help with your organic rankings. But if you're also doing strategies for the off season with your PPC campaigns, targeting those type of search terms, we would want them, when they click on it, to go to the relevant pages on your site. Not necessarily just your home page that's an overview of what you have, but what answers that question, what provides the most relevancy. Ultimately, a lot of these concepts help create authority in Google's eyes. It's a relevant user experience for your visitors, and we want them to hit the sales funnel as quick as possible and turn that traffic into heads and beds and revenue for you. So again, having that supporting content on your site is key. And then email marketing as well. Don't be afraid to invite your past guests back to come check out the off season. You might be surprised how many, I know I always was when we did that, how many Christmas guests, high dollar guests would come back and check Steamboat out in, May or June even. So email marketing, another key core fundamental. Social media, of course, is a great platform. You can really showcase your destination, showcase what's going on in market, what's going on with your properties, making sure that that's linked over to that relevant content on your website. And reviews, that's whether it's shoulder times or peak season. If you're not using reviews, use reviews, including your offsite Google My Business listing. Having reviews there is great, or on-site, having reviews for the properties, having reviews on your homepage. You know, I liken that to, you know, again, not to date myself, the mailbox conversations they used to have when somebody would come back on vacation, talk to their neighbors, tell them what a great time they had. Reviews are it right now, so make sure your reviews are looking good, they're prominent, easy to find. And again, photo galleries, make sure it's representative of the season you're really marketing to and seeing that traffic coming in from. And analytics, that ties everything together, whether it's seeing how your website's performing, to see if your content is relevant or people bouncing out of certain pages based off of the campaign they're running. Is it organic? Is it paid traffic coming in there? The email marketing. You can use analytics for everything. And I don't know, from the conversations I have with people, not as many are using analytics as much as I would prefer. So I'm always trying to get people to hook up their analytics if it's not hooked up already, and take a look at it and use it. So with that, you know, and if you want to go to the next slide, Jade, you know, really, you know, tying everything together, SEO, content, PPC, email, and social, having a nice integrated comprehensive marketing campaign for your shoulder seasons, for your off seasons, just like you do during the high times, is incredibly important. Getting that uptick of your occupancy levels by 10, 20, 30%, that makes everybody happy, including our homeowners, right? So any questions?
Yeah, so this is a great time. If anyone has any remaining questions, certainly we're happy to answer them. I think overall, this was a time for us to give you a high altitude view of how you can really utilize all the tools that are available to you to think outside of the traditional booking box to help fill shoulder seasons. This stuff also applies though year round. I mean, if your content is good, if your photos are good, if you're taking advantage of promotions, if you're working in sync with your market directors, those things are all going to drive bookings year round, with a special focus to the times that you're really looking to fill your booking gaps. So again, feel free to reach out to me. There's my email, pamela@redawning.com. If you don't know who your market director is, I'm happy to connect you with them. Certainly, if you're in Mountain, I look forward to working further with you guys to prepare for our mud season coming up, and then of course summer into next winter. And Scott's always available to answer questions about anything Blizzard. Both of us are frequently at trade shows. I'll be at Ski Tops and MTS coming up. If you're going to the Mountain Travel Symposium in Whistler, make sure you come visit with us both at the Trade Exchange, and also we'll be at the Vacation Rental Track presenting actually a session with Amazon. That's going to be really cool. Amazon has some cool stuff up their sleeves. So again, please ask any questions that you have.
We did have one.
Yeah, go ahead, Heather. Sorry.
Oh, we did have one question just about getting the recording of this. And yes, we will make sure that is available. Specifically, Melanie, we got your note and we can help you with that.
That'll also go up on our website. So on the Under the Awning page on redawningroup.com, all of our past webinars are there, and you're free to watch any of the videos in our archive.
Great.
And I was just going to say, I'll be at the VRMA spring show in Charlotte in a couple weeks at the Red Awning booth. So if you're in the neighborhood, swing on by. I'd love to meet you in person there as well.
And I think we also have a slide popping up here, Jade, don't we, about our partner conference. Hopefully you guys are all aware of that. We would love to see you all in Sonoma in May. It's going to be definitely an educational event, a super fun event. There'll be everything from golf to wine tasting to, I've heard, even some grape stomping and crushing. And of course, an opportunity to meet with the executive team at Red Awning. Certainly some of our partners like Amazon will be there, and your market directors will be there, so you'll have a chance to meet with them in person. It's at the Fairmont in Sonoma, although I do believe we have other lodging blocks and options available for folks who don't want to stay at the Fairmont. So please put this on your calendar and make sure to sign up. Your market directors can help you register, or you can head over to the website and register, request to register there. So I can't emphasize enough what a cool event this is going to be. You'll walk away with so much information and more, certainly some more quivers of knowledge to utilize to help drive bookings and demand as well. So we hope to see you guys all there for sure.
Great. Just checking here to see if there are any final questions. And looks like we've, looks like we do have one more. We'll give it a second here. But yeah, I guess just to add to the partner conference notes that Pamela mentioned, the goal is that this is an intimate setting where we can have some fun together, of course, but also be more of a workshop where we really dig in and get to kind of that next level thinking and spend time talking to each other versus just, listening to a speaker. We're really structuring this to be more of an interactive type conference. Okay, so here's the question from John. Yes, so I think the question is related to the PMS V12 specifically, and if you do a discounted rate, does it come over? And yes, so any changes to rate do come over via Red Awning, and we push that rate out to the channels. But I'm going to maybe go a step further with this question, because that does not trigger, just that simple connectivity feature does not trigger merchandising, better page placement and tagging on Booking or Expedia specifically. That is an extra step that requires a promotion be set up. And it is a promotion that has to be taken off of your kind of base rate or best available rate. I know there's different terminology used. And that's how those promotions come to life to really give you the boost. So, John, feel free to kind of follow up here. Oh, you do have to set up with a market director. Yes, at Red Awning, that is correct. Because as just the vacation rental space continues to evolve, I do think there will be a day when there'll be multiple rate plans versus just one calendar, and the ability to map promotional codes, to all channels. This functionality I think is rapidly approaching. Some PMSs may evolve to it. We're certainly, in the process of evolving to it. But for now, it is not something you can do without kind of the human step of that promotion tagging. It is not just completely digital today. And quite honestly, even on the hotel side, there are still some extra steps that need to be taken depending on the technology being used across that space as well. Was that helpful, John? Or yeah, please let us know. And we do need to take that step to make sure you're getting all of the best merchandising and tagging and page placement boosting.
And after this webinar, you'll all get a survey too that will ask you what more information you'd like, and if you do want someone to follow up with you. So if you do have more questions.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Oh, perfect. Okay. Sounds like you've already got that scheduled, John. Awesome. But yeah, we're here for you. And as Pamela said, reach out if you don't know who to go to. We'll make sure to get you the right person who's the market expert for you. I think if there's nothing else, we do have a couple minutes left, but Pamela, Scott, or Paige, any last thoughts?
I think we've hit all the high notes for sure. Again, this was just meant to be kind of get the wheels turning and get some ideas out there for you guys to wrap your heads around. We're happy to dig in deeper with you and offer more suggestions. Certainly, we have more that we probably didn't even cover here. So, to take advantage of the relationship you have with Red Awning and the partnership you have with us. We're here to help you be successful.
And
Thank
again,
you,
a special,
everybody.
oh yeah, thanks Scott, and a special thanks again to Paige so much for joining and sharing some of your thoughts as an industry expert. We really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you, Paige.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was my pleasure.
All right, with that, I think we'll end it here. And thanks to all of you that joined. We look forward to catching up with you again next month and seeing you in May in Sonoma. Have a great rest of your day. Talk soon.
Thanks,
Thanks so much.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.